What did you see out of Paul tonight?
Great stuff. Competed, mixed up his pitches really well. Was throwing the fastball a lot early, and then ended up being able to mix it. He had the fastball command was there, but being able to go to the changeup too and sweeper early on. He just mixed it up and pitched really well.
What's it like to see him getting a couple jams, but 5 out of his 6 innings, I think he finished with a strikeout?
Yeah, he did. Really, I thought he commanded the zone really well and got ahead of guys early on. I think it was the 5th inning that was really efficient. That his pitch count kind of got up there in the 3rd inning, 4th inning, but then he was able to slow it down and in the 5th and 6th be really efficient and finish a really good outing.
Today was the first time he'd allowed an earned run at home in almost 2.5 months. What does that say about how impressive he's been, like not only in general, but here in particular?
Yeah, he's been so good, and especially at home. When you see, I didn't even realize it was that long. I think sometimes you just he goes out there and he's so good so often that you just don't kind of come to expect it, which is completely unfair to him because it's not baseball. And again, we're talking about a guy that's in his first full major league season, and the way he goes about it, he showed it again today.
What did you make of a very entertaining last 2 innings?
Yeah, they were. To score a bunch of runs, I was really pumped about that. And when you see what Paul did, and then assists coming in, Nicholas with a huge inning there in the 8th, and then Santana closing the door. Offense continuing to grind and put pressure on the defense and find a way to score some runs. It was a great team win.
Gosman's pitches nearly doubled from the first time through the order to the second. What do you like about the way your guys went at him the second time through the order?
Yeah, we continue to grind out at bats there. He's a great pitcher. The way that his career and the way that he's been pitching this year, and just to be able to, throw off his rhythm a little bit, fight through some at bats, foul some balls off, get some guys on base, and continue to drive that pitch count up, and get him out after 5 was big.
You see Henry's value behind the plate when Paul's pitching, but what was it like to see him come through with a double and a sac fly late in the game?
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, to lead off that inning with the double, got a good pitch to hit, kept it fair, and late, to be able to tack on an extra one there with a really good at bat. And again, he's continuing to grind, continuing to work, and starting to see a little bit of the fruits of that. He's gone through a tough stretch, and to his credit, continued to battle and work behind the plate. It has not affected him defensively at all. He's really locked in back there and has done a nice job.
How happy can you be for a guy like Sis to get his first big league win in the way he did tonight?
Yeah, that was sick. Especially the pinch hit going through 2 righties, and then to get Jimenez there and go 1-2-3 in the 7th, and then pick up the victory. That was cool.
In your time around Paul, what have you learned about him when he's coming off of a lesser outing as opposed to one of his usual dominant starts? Is he at all a different guy, or is he a guy that really burrows in and digs deep on something after an outing that isn't so great?
He's always digging deep. He's always locked in. There haven't been too many bad outings to really come off of that I remember. He's had a few that haven't gone real well, but he's so consistent in how he works, how he prepares in between starts, the detail that he goes through. It's amazing how much detail and prep goes into in between his starts and his drive to be great.
Donnie, with losing Bednar, Ferguson, Barunki, the bullpen obviously changing complexion a little bit, how important will it be down the stretch to sort of identify some guys? Maybe it's Nicholas, maybe it's somebody else, going into next year.
Yeah, it is. It's real important, and for these guys they know there's going to be some opportunities, and to go out there and do what they do. Nicholas did a heck of a job tonight. He makes a good pitch, it seemed, on Springer. He got the base hit, but then to go 3-2 and to be able to induce a double play and get out of that inning, 1-2-3. Nicholas showed it the other day in Chicago, first and second, nobody out in that environment. These guys they're going to get opportunities, and finding ways to come through and showcase what they've got and continue to get better every single day is really what we challenge them with.
Donnie, is it encouraging to see a little spicy for kind of a random game in August? I mean, as a manager, is it encouraging when to see your guys sort of be in that mindset, especially at the end of a stretch where it's just been tough the last week or so?
Yeah, last week was tough on the road. I thought that Milwaukee series kind of sluggish, didn't compete as well, and then we were able to turn the corner in Chicago, and I thought we played 3 really tough games against a really good team, and then to show up today and, you know, against the Blue Jays and bring our A game and find a way to compete and get a W was huge, and that's really all you can ask for from the guys is showing up, working hard, and giving everything you got every single night, and they did that in Chicago, and we did it again tonight.
Do you like the edginess? I mean, Tommy brings his own energy sometimes in that way, but the other guy, I mean, it definitely seemed to sort of feed into the whole vibe of the night.
Yeah, for sure. We have to play with that edge. We have to play with that edge and that energy every single night when we go out there. And you know, like I said, in Milwaukee, I felt like we didn't have it. I felt like we had it in Chicago, and you're right, tonight I thought we played with that as well.
Did you get an explanation for what sparked that with Van?
I think it was just a little miscommunication there at home plate.
Thanks.